後ろにいる人間どもを渡せ。そうすればお前に手出ししない。我々は後ろにいる人間どもを渡せ。
Episode 2 of Season 2 was even more action-packed than Episode 1, featuring jaw-dropping revelations and intense action sequences. In this review, I'll break down the key moments and we'll discuss some intriguing details such as why the Ice Elves didn't recognize Jinwoo as a human, the mysterious glitch and replay, how Jinwoo manipulated Kim Chul into attacking him, and whether it was self-defense or premeditated murder. So let's dive in. Greetings Anime Throne fans. As I discussed in my episode 1 review, Jinwoo killed all the ice bears. In this episode, Jinwoo added them to his shadow army, setting the stage for more thrilling developments. While running from the Ice Elves, Kim Chul stumbled upon the bodies of the ice bears, shocked that the lower rankers had managed to kill them. According to manager An, around 3 days had passed inside the gate since they entered it. Kim Chul's party, though strong enough to fight the ice bears, had been weakened by cold and hunger. On top of that, they also got attacked by the ice slayers. So when Kim Chul found the lower rankers laughing, eating around a campfire and wearing warm clothes, he lost it. To him, it seemed like his team died because someone had hid these resources from them. In his rage, he blamed Park Hee-jin for joining Jinwoo's team, thinking she knew about it. Before he could attack her, Jinwoo knocked him out. Notice how Kim Chul's sword gets embedded in the ground when he is sent flying. Keep this in mind as it's a very important detail which I'll discuss later when I'll explain Jinwoo's master plan. But let's discuss the Ice Elves revelation first. The Ice Elves leader, Barca, revealed a fascinating detail. Whenever they see humans, a voice in their heads commands them to kill, implying someone is behind the monsters attacking humans. However, when Barca saw Jinwoo, he didn't hear this voice, leading him to believe Jinwoo isn't human. Jinwoo theorized that it was because the system recognized him as a player rather than a human. When Jinwoo questioned Barca about who they were and why they fight humans, Barca's response glitched mid-sentence and the scene replayed. It seemed like the system, or someone who can control the system, intentionally blocked Jinwoo from learning something important. Why do you think this happened? Now let's discuss Jinwoo's master plan. Jinwoo refused to hand over the humans, which led to a battle. During their fight, Jinwoo thought even with him and Igris, it would be tough and the regular soldiers won't cut it. Now pay attention to this scene. When Jinwoo thinks he needs a stronger fighting force, the screen subtly focuses on Kim Chul's sword, foreshadowing Jinwoo's plan. Remember the scene I had mentioned earlier? When Jinwoo knocked Kim Chul out, his sword got embedded in the ground. While fighting Barca, Jinwoo came near that sword. Later, realizing he wanted to add Kim Chul to his shadow army, during the battle with Barca, Jinwoo intentionally sent the sword near Kim Chul, knowing Kim Chul would attack him in his rage. When the magicians attacked Barca with the fireball, you can see this sword, which was previously stuck in the ground, lying near Kim Chul instead. By giving Kim Chul a weapon, Jinwoo ensured that Kim Chul would attack, allowing him to justify killing him in self-defense. Immediately after Kim Chul's death, Jinwoo used a rise to add him to his shadow army. With Kim Chul's strength, they defeated Barca and opened the gate, which leads to our next discussion, the morality of Jinwoo's actions. This episode marked the first time Jinwoo added a human to his shadow army. While Kim Chul's actions made him a terrible person, was it justified for Jinwoo to kill him? Up until now, Jinwoo's skills had been in self-defense or against monsters, but this felt more like a premeditated murder. Finding his ruthless side really took me by surprise. Even if you kill a bad guy, it's still murder. And unlike with Hwang Dongsoo and his team, the system wasn't forcing Jinwoo to kill Kim Chul. If they were alone, I think Jinwoo might have killed Kim Chul right away, but he knew Songi, Heijin, etc. were watching him, so he needed needed to act like he did it in self-defense. His plan might not have been so obvious in the anime, but as you can see here, it's much clearer in the webtoon. You can see that Jinwoo intentionally threw the sword near Kim Chul and even called him predictable right after killing him. Even Kim Chul realized he was manipulated by Jinwoo right before his death. The second he died, Jinwoo added him to his army. It can be argued that Jinwoo acted in self-defense to ensure his team's survival. Without Kim Chul, defeating Barca might not have been possible, in which case it can be counted as a self-defense as he did it to save his team, just like what had happened with Hwang Dongsoo. On the other hand, Jinwoo could have restrained Kim Chul and handed him over to the White Tiger Guild instead of killing him. Jinwoo thought with him and Igris fighting, it will be tough. That's not the same thing as impossible, which means they probably could have defeated Barca, but it wouldn't have been easy. The murder of Kim Chul could have been avoided here. So Jinwoo killing Kim Chul of his own accord just to gain more power can be counted as murder. What do you think? Was it self-defense or premeditated murder? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now let's take a look at what was happening outside the gate. Outside the Red Gate, tensions rose between Hwang Dongsoo and the White Tiger Guild. Hwang Dongsoo suspected there might be more to Jinwoo than meets the eye, noting that despite being unaffiliated, Jinwoo was still allowed to join their strike team. He saw right through An Sang-min's lie about Jinwoo being his acquaintance and correctly guessed why Sang-min might have been interested in Jinwoo. So he tried to threaten Sang-min to spill the beans, but Baek Yoon-ho intervened. Hwang Dongsoo called Baek Yoon-ho a big fish in a tiny pond, hinting at even stronger hunters out in the world, which leads to both of them getting ready to fight. Even though it was a really dangerous situation, Woo Jin-chul jumped in to stop their fight. He wasn't anywhere near as strong as the two S-rank hunters, but he knew if they came to blows, it would cause some real damage to those around them. It takes real guts to jump in between two super strong fighters who are way above your league. Even Hwang Dongsoo seemed impressed by his actions, but Woo Jin-chul humbly said if both of them hadn't held back at the last second, his arms would have been obliterated. I can't stress how much I like Woo Jin-chul. Besides Chairman Go Gun-hee, Jin-chul is one of the few rare characters who give me the feeling of being reliable and morally right. As we know, our main character isn't always morally right and likes to tread the grey area more, which I also love, by the way. Anyway, in order to defuse the situation, Jin-chul assured Hwang Dongsoo that he himself tested Jinwoo 2 months ago and guaranteed that Jinwoo really was an E-ranker, at which point Dongsoo admitted that he thought the D-ranked Jinwoo was probably the one who had killed his brother and he was only using this as an excuse to kill Jinwoo. Then Dongsoo received a message that made him leave, saying Jinwoo was a lucky bastard. It seems like he was called back to his guild in America, so he had no choice but to leave. After Jinwoo and the others returned, Baek Yoon-ho found it hard to believe that only low rankers had survived and at first suspected Jinwoo and tried to question him. Jinwoo told him he had saved his guild members, so he should be expressing his gratitude instead. Baek Yoon-ho, realizing his mistake, apologized and told manager An to do whatever it takes to bring Jinwoo over to their guild. So unlike season 1, it seems like now manager An would be able to offer the terms Jinwoo had asked for in season 1. This was a thrilling action-packed episode that highlighted Jinwoo's strategic mind and moral complexity. So I would rate it a solid 9 out of 10. I'll also post Apothecary Diaries episode 2 review soon. If you have any anime you'd like me to review, let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please check on the like button below, share the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you in my next video.